Thank you very much. And now from zinc we go to ilmenite and phosphate to hear from Melior Resources and their CEO Mark McCauley. Mark, please.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for being here to listen to me. I should get on the right presentation. Melior Resources. Melior is a TSXV listed entity. It has a market cap of about $35 million today, and its primary asset is the Gundicum ilmenite and phosphate rock project located in Queensland, Australia. And the big news for Melior, which we've only just come to at the end of last week, is that Gundicum, which has been on care and maintenance for the last 2 years, and we've been looking to restart that given the very strong ilmenite and titanium feedstock market in the last 12 months. We have now secured our finance and offtake agreement and have formally announced that we'll be restarting Gundicum over the next 6 months. So that's a big step forward for Melior and its shareholders. So the funding and offtake package has been completed. The plant and facilities refurbishment is underway, with production scheduled to commence in November this year. So it's a 6-month construction time, 10 million Australian dollars, and shipping early next year and cash positive by the middle of next year. So a pretty quick construction ramp up and transition to cash positive. We have some very strong and committed partners, including our new partner with the offtake. I keep pressing the wrong one there. Hainan Wensheng. They have loaned us $5 million effectively as a prepayment in return for a 600,000 tonne offtake agreement for our ilmenite, which stretches over 6 years. So the repayment period for that $5 million is 6 years. And is linked to the offtake of the ilmenite. So we're very excited about that. That's the first time Gundicum has had a long-term offtake for its ilmenite, and we think that will position us very strongly in our marketing of our product going forward. Parla Investments, they have committed a debt restart facility of $7.5 million. That's got a 2-year repayment and will be drawn down in 2 tranches. And interest on that is accrued and paid at the end of the 2 years. And we've recently done an equity placement, which all the major shareholders, except Parla, participated in, and that was completed in February 2018. So that gives us a total of just over $13 million to restart our project. I've talked about the offtake agreement. The pricing of that offtake is actually linked to the imported price of African ilmenites into China. We get a 15% premium to that price, which reflects the superior quality of Gundicum ilmenite. Hainan will take around 65% of our annual production for the next 6 years. So that leaves 60,000 to 80,000 tonnes per annum uncommitted, and we'll likely place that into Japan, Korea, and potentially Europe as well. Ilmenite. Ilmenite's a strategic industrial mineral with lifestyle applications. It's effectively linked to GDP growth, so it is a GDP commodity. Our ilmenite goes into producing titanium dioxide pigment manufacture, and we sell primarily to China, Japan, and Korea. Titanium pigment goes into all sorts of different everyday uses or everyday products, including paints, plastics, coatings for cars, houses, and electronics and paper. It's very difficult to substitute, and as I say, the world can do without titanium pigment, but it would be a very drab place. We have seen some very strong pricing in the last 12 months after a sustained period of downturn, and on our supply-demand thesis, that should continue at least for the next 3 or 4 years. And after that, who knows, but 3 or 4 years is all we need to get our money back, plus a whole lot. Quality is key in any industrial mineral, and ilmenite is no exception. Our quality is really a top-tier quality. In previous production runs of Gundicum, the produced ilmenite has been a second-tier quality product. By virtue of some changes that we're making to the process in this restart, we will upgrade the ilmenite from second tier to a top-tier quality, and get the associated premium that deserves. So that graph there shows the spread between Indian and African ilmenites, with the African at the bottom and the Indian at the top. We are now equivalent to Indian quality ilmenite, so we'll get somewhere between a $5 and a $25 premium for our product. And one of the interesting things on that graph is the per capita consumption in China remains less than 50% of their North American and European counterparts. So there is huge upside there to jump on the China bandwagon and take advantage of their increased utilisation of titanium pigment and use of ilmenite. Gundicum itself, Gundicum is a past producer, so this is a brownfields restart project. We've had it on care and maintenance for the last 2 years and have spent quite a bit of money in ensuring that it's kept in very good condition. It's had $120 million previously invested. It's got a very quick 6-month restart, which is low risk and low cost. We've recently had a PEA which demonstrates very strong and compelling economic metrics. We've got an internal full feasibility study that our own team has compiled, which is very much in line with the PEA that was done independently. The location in Australia gives it great access to the China, Japan, Korea markets. We have very good potential for both expansion and extension of the operation, and we're also testing quite a unique new metallurgical process which upgrades the ilmenite from 50% TiO2 up to an 80% plus TiO2 product. And that's quite independent of the Gundicum restart. We will sell ilmenite as it's produced from Gundicum. The technology project is something that may in fact become valuable at some stage in the future. So we're located in about 2 hours inland from Gladstone, and that's the port that we ship out of in Queensland, Australia. It's a great jurisdiction. The project will produce 160,000 tonnes of ilmenite over its 9-year life, peaking at just over 200,000 tonnes in year 2. It's a very simple mining process, no stripping ratio, so mining straight from the surface. Standard equipment and conventional processing, low operational risk, and it's a top quality product, as I previously alluded to. We also produce 40,000 tonnes of apatite, and that's locked up with a life of mine offtake agreement with a domestic agri-products producer. I'll let you go through the economic metrics at your leisure. This is on our website. Needless to say, by virtue of its very low capex, it has a great rate of return and a very quick payback. Our operating costs are middle of the range, as disclosed by TZMI, and go through that. Very low capital comparison. We have a very large resource base, hence the high potential for extension and expansion of the operation. Project Brown, we are working on that. That's probably got another 2 or 3 years to run, but potentially has got some real value, either through upgrading Gundicum's ilmenite or upgrading others' ilmenite, or selling the technology outright to the Chinese or other end users. Capital structure, our major shareholders are Parla Investments. They've been very supportive and continue to be supportive, and as previously said, listed on the TSXV ticker MLR. This sums up our strategy. We will get Gundicum restarted in the next 6 months. It will quickly become cash positive and generate genuine cash for the corporation to use. So in conjunction with optimising that project, extending and expanding it going forward, we will have a very aggressive and targeted merger and acquisition strategy to bolt on additional projects, take advantage of our in-house technical expertise, marketing expertise, and free cash flow. So that will give us real growth potential. We already have some projects in our sights, and hopefully that will come to fruition within the next 6 to 8 months. Why Melior? It's a great way for investors to gain exposure to a thriving ilmenite market. We are the only pure ilmenite player in the TSXV. It's fully financed for production, for Gundekum production. Near-term production ensures the company enters a rising and very strong titanium feedstock environment. It's ideally located. We have some good financial human resources, and we're very aggressive in the M&A and have some very good experience in that in other industries, and we see that as our pathway forward. Thank you very much.